I'm making this video right now, Tim Pool is currently on his secondary channel, Tipcast IRL, and he's talking with another guest star. I think his name is Enrique Tararo, if I am pronouncing that correctly. I am sorry if I did that wrong, but he is mentioning in his episode about the Freedom Convoy, how GoFundMe has actually freezed their accounts, and of course with Joe Rogan. And I would say to expand upon that, both of these two topics, while they seem rather distant from each other, they're actually more interconnected, if I dare say so myself. So this video here is obviously not to talk about Tim Pool or his specific episode or my criticisms about what he says. No, it is specifically why these two topics, the Freedom Convoy and Joe Rogan, are interconnected, and why they're affecting both the United States as well as Canada. Now, it's no surprise that with the Freedom Convoy, where thousands upon thousands of the truckers have actually driven up to Ottawa to protest against vaccine restrictions, or further vaccine restrictions. It's gotten so large that they actually had a 43-mile long convoy as they were going to Ottawa. And it has grown it, at least as far as I know, this is as far as I know, to 50,000 people. But of course, with the current Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, or as more appropriately, Turdo, he of course has decided not to issue, or well, not to give in to the demands of the people, or at least this is the national government I'm talking about. He's decided to say that they're a small fringe minority and that they're run by fascists and Nazis and yada yada yada, the stereotypical playbook of the left. He even went so far as to say that their extremist views are not welcome here. Keep in mind that these are only truckers. These guys are truckers. These guys have a hard time. And I'm going to admit it, I have not thought about the trucker for a while. In fact, I never really had them on my mind, because all I just think about as an average normal citizen is when I go to the grocery store, I buy something, and I go home. I do not understand, until at least I got into Amazon, what people go through in regards to getting the products to where they need to be. I'm actually very impressed by that, and they have a hard time, because they have to go through a lot of distances, through long periods of time away from their families, just to make sure that they have money on the money to buy for food and stuff. So I applaud the truckers, and I'm sorry that I never thought about you guys. I have no excuse. I have absolutely no excuse. You guys do more for this country and all for the world in order for the economy to prosper. With that being said, the government, or at least the Canadian government, has been wanting to issue lots of mandates, specifically to fight against COVID, by issuing mandatory vaccinations. Now, the truckers, they don't like that. They've already been dealing with a lot of regulations, and again, a lot of the crap that I said before. They don't want to add another thing, especially if they don't get the vaccine, which some of these truckers are, not all of them, some of them have not gotten the vaccine. That means they will get the boot. They lose their job. They will not have the ability to earn money. They don't have the ability to earn money. They want to be able to put food on the table. But of course, Justin Trudeau doesn't like that. He doesn't care about that. It really frustrates me, Trudeau. He really does. And I'm not even Canadian. I'm American. I have my own problems here with Joe Biden. And don't worry, I will get into that soon. Especially with Joe Rogan. But don't worry, I will add a little bit of an issue with add a little bit Joe Biden with the Freedom Convoy. Because that part is absolutely political. But already, there have been major gains. Not just in terms of public support, but just just from the fact that a lot of the provincial governments, such as in Alberta, I believe, have actually decided to issue no more restrictions. These guys are very effective. Because again, they run the supply chain across the entire country of Canada. They're the ones who bring all the other products and food to the grocery stores or wherever they need to be. And thanks to the fact that a good portion of them are out protesting against this, it's definitely have a detrimental effect on the economy. And it has a detrimental effect on Justin Trudeau. And like I said before, thanks to the public outcry, a lot of provincial governments and even the national government has been considering trying to get rid of COVID restrictions as a result. But Justin Trudeau, like his man-child personality, has decided no, he's not going to give in to the demands of the truckers. Reasonable demands, I may say so myself, about trying to lift any vaccine mandates. In fact, he's gone so far as to leave Ottawa. In fact, I wouldn't say leave Ottawa, flee Ottawa. Because apparently there's some kind of extreme danger. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys have seen the footage in Ottawa where they were peacefully protesting. And most fireworks lit up in the sky. Not at anyone, not the police, lit up in the sky. Justin Trudeau is so afraid of him, he was willing to say he was going to use military intervention just to get rid of the Freedom Convoy. Of course, excuse me. Of course, I don't think that's going to happen, especially when the Ministry of Defense actually said that wouldn't be possible. And why wouldn't it? These guys are peacefully protesting. And again, they have the public support. Don't you think that if Justin Trudeau did something, say, Tiananmen Square-like, he would lose all popularity to the point where he should be kicked out? Like, not simple resignation, but actually impeached and kicked out. Yeah, that would definitely be a major problem. And this is actually, this movement by the Freedom Convoy has actually spread so far into the United States to the point where Joe Biden and a lot of these big tech corporations, including with GoFundMe, have actually been trying to stop this from occurring here in the States. I know that there's a lot of people who are wanting to have their own Freedom Convoy going to DC. But Facebook, and as I said before in the early part of this video and just recently, GoFundMe has been trying to freeze the accounts. They would so far as say you cannot donate to these people, and they're gonna work with the organization to get them to a verified charity. Bitch, I'm pretty sure the people who donated to the Freedom Convoy did not donate specifically to those verified charities. They wanted their money to go to the Freedom Convoy. That is their right. Now, how is this tie in with Joe Rogan? Well, by the very fact that Joe Biden, and as well as the big tech and a lot of these major corporations and the establishment are afraid of grassroots movements. In the case of Joe Rogan, he happens to have some of the best, I think this is the largest platform, the largest amount of subscribers on Spotify at this very moment. I would be surprised if the man is very wealthy. That man is, I will have to say it, as much as I have a difference of political opinion, that guy, not only I can talk to him, he's actually pretty smart when it comes to economics, and damn, he managed to hit the rod while it's hot. But to continue on, a lot of people really recently, people like Neil Young, have actually demanded that they wanted Joe Rogan to be off by somehow spreading misinformation and a lot of this BS. Of course, Spotify was like, no, we're not doing it. And a lot of these people, including Neil Young, I think, last time I checked, have actually got off of Spotify. But Spotify did bend the knee a little bit and did add in a little bit of these disclaimers about how this could be misinformation, and this just overall possible misinformation by Joe Rogan. Steven Crowder actually made a video specifically talking about this, and I will be posting that link down in the description down below if you guys would like to check it out. But it's clear they're afraid. Hell, Joe Rogan has even gotten the attention of Joe Biden. Jen Psaki, actually, the White House spokesperson, has actually said they urged Spotify to censor Joe Rogan. She did actually say to censor, of course. Her politicians' words tend to be very choosy with their words. But she definitely advocated and urged them to apparently do the right thing, which is in their minds to get rid of Joe Rogan. Do you think that this may be a violation of the Constitution, Jen Psaki? Of course, Jen Psaki is the fall puppet, or well, she's the one who will get all the flack for this. We all know that Joe Biden would love this. It isn't the first time. Jen Psaki, even a few months prior, if you recall, actually talked to a lot of these big tech corporations and said that the federal government and these big tech corporations were working together to stop misinformation. Despite the fact that alone kind of raises red flags of the possibility that free speech is being infringed, which of course it is. I mean, already Razorfist has actually been given a strike on YouTube over him talking about the Arizona audit, which his video was a few months ago, and now the reason why he got the audit was because it was misinformation. Complete BS. I actually saw the video before. I saw the documents. But then again, of course, Facebook had to go up. I wouldn't be surprised if the fact checkers, if you could call them that, are actually using their own opinions. After all, Facebook actually admitted that the fact checkers on their own site were using their own opinions. But why is this tied together? It's simple. Grassroots. The internet has brought all of us together and has now made us easier to support major political movements and campaigns. I can now be able to use my own money to support whoever I want, whatever candidate I want, whatever campaign I want, whatever movement I want. And of course, GoFundMe doesn't like that. Joe Biden does not like that. Big Tech doesn't like that. Because that threatens their very power structure. And honestly, this also threatens the government of Justin Trudeau and Joe Biden. If they were not unpopular before, they certainly are now. More and more people are rising up. The Freedom Convoy in Canada has just showed how fragile Justin Trudeau is. He may have a minority government. He may have even won his second term. I think he won his second term, maybe a third term. I know he came in at around 2015, so he's been in power for like 7 to 8 years. But nonetheless, this goes to show that Justin Trudeau is on fragile territory. He is on thin ice at the moment. Same with Joe Biden. If people are talking on the internet of even doing a DC Freedom Convoy just to protest against vaccine mandates, mask mandates, you know you have a problem. And this will definitely threaten the governments of Joe Biden and Justin Trudeau if they haven't already. I definitely hope that there will be a DC Freedom Convoy. Because we need to stop this madness Like how the Freedom Convoy has been trying to stop the madness in Canada. We need to stop the mask mandates. We need to stop the vaccine mandates. We need our country, to rise up. We need our country to protest these civil disobedience, to end these crazy mandates, and to get back to normal life. I really hope that happens, and I hope within the next few days as I'm making this video, that does occur. My name is Noah Meehan on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe if you're for heads. Also, if you have any issues regarding my video, such as how long this video is, or maybe have a better camera or something, please post it down in the comment section down below, or directly message me. Thank you.